What the heck is up, you guys? It's your boy Ace, aka Animated Heroes, here back with another action figure review. Today we're going to be taking a look at the SH Figuarts Spy Family Greatness Loid Forger, and this is another one I am super excited for, so let's not waste any time and get right into it. Now, starting off with the sexy packaging, they did kind of go with this almost lime green-ish theme for the coloring, which absolutely makes sense because it fits the color of his suit. Along the side right here, as you guys can see, we have a full body image of him. It says Loid right there, SH Figuarts. Then it says his name right there. You can see the figure as well as some of the accessories. We got an image of him right there pointing his gun. That looks really dope. Spy Family, Tamashii Nation's quality sticker of approval. Tamashii Nation's Bandai along the bottom right. On this side, you don't really have much going on. A little image of him down there at the bottom. You can tell he's looking at Anya right there. Then we got Loid right there. Up top, we've got an image of him. This is kind of the look I make when I'm trying to remain calm, but it's almost impossible for me to do. Then, of course, on the bottom, you have some other stuff that doesn't matter. And then last, on the back, you got some poses you can get the figure into, as well as some of the face plates, and then all the legal stuff that I can't read because I imported this. So, yeah, none of that matters. Let's bust this guy out of the package. Now, unlike some, there is one action figure company that has been, for the most part, staying pretty consistent with all of its new releases. Granted, they did have one slip up, but everything else has been just about fire. Now, which company am I talking about? Isn't it obvious? I'm talking about Bandai, because once again, they have absolutely killed it, man. I know I say this all the time, but it literally looks like he walked right out of the anime, and that's all I need when it comes to my anime figures. Sprinkle a little bit of articulation on top, sprinkle some accessories in there, and that's the perfect cake for me. I am loving this thing so far, and there's quite a bit to talk about. Now let's go ahead and take a closer look at him so I can show you guys some of those details. Now, up close and personal, I will say this thing looks really dang good, man. They got the head sculpt completely accurate all the way down to just the shape of his head, the jaw, all of that stuff. The hair looks really nice. It's painted very well. There is a little bit of darker paint along the sideburns, as they should be. I wish there was a little bit of shading in the hair. The suit also looks really dang good, man. But it's only like 2 or 3 different color greens. I do think that it could have benefited from a little bit of shading, maybe just in some of the wrinkled areas. I'm not sure how much it cost them to manufacture this figure, but obviously this is like a completely new sculpt, man. And one thing I want to say is this figure is much taller than Tamashii Nation's previous figures, so once again it's showing that they're upscaling all of their stuff, man. And of course I'll get into that once I show how tall he is, but seriously, man, just the detail in the suit. You got the little button right there, the how did I forget what this is called? I don't know, but yeah, we got that right there, the tie. My brain was blank. But yeah, you got a darker green for the vest. Wish it would have been a little bit darker to kind of break it up, because with the way the light's hitting it, it probably looks like it's the same color green, but it isn't. You got the white for the sleeve. We got the darker buttons right here. I don't remember if those are gold or not. I think they're pretty good on accuracy, so we'll go with that. You got the creases in the pants. Everything looks good all the way down to the black shoes, and really they're not even black. They're almost like a dark gray-ish color, and then right here along the bottom of the shoes, it's more of like a lighter gray. So overall, just a really good looking figure, man. A solid piece. I like this quite a bit. Now, one thing I do want to get onto whatever, is the legs, man. They kind of move a little bit. I'm not sure if my camera's picking that up. It's more so just the left leg on mine. Like, it feels a little loose. Hopefully I'm not gonna have any issues with that. Engineering and everything looks fine on this guy. Maybe it's just a loose leg. Hopefully that's just mine. I haven't watched any reviews on this guy. I think I saw part of TF Nuts. Go check his out if you haven't already. I didn't get to finish it, but yeah, overall, like I said, solid looking figure. Now let's go ahead and put him back so we can see how tall he stands. Now, for the height of this figure to the top of his head, you guys see it just as well as I do. He's right at about 6.5 inches, actually pushing that 7-inch. He's not at 7, but I mean, he's pushing towards it. For an SH Figuarts, this is tall, man. We normally don't ever get anything over 6 inches. So now here we are at 6.5, and it just proves what I said earlier. They are really upping the scale, and I'm fine with that as long as they keep it within 1/12. I don't need 7-inch figures, but this is nice. And while I'm talking about the height on this guy, I do want to go ahead and throw this out there early. I'm not going to be able to do a size comparison between him and Anya because I don't have Anya. I missed the pre-order for the import version, and now I'm waiting on Big Bad Slow Store to get it in stock. So yeah, there will not be a size comparison. But if I'm able to get my hands on Yor by the end of the year, which I'm expecting to, I'll do a size comparison with all 3 of them in that video, only if I'm able to get my Anya from Big Bad Slow Store. Moving on to the articulation, he looks up only about that. Actually, no, I take that back. My boy looks up, yo. My boy looks up, unlike Figma Kaza. He looks down. That is good. He looks down very well. And what helps him look up, actually, is, I just noticed this little gap right here in the neck. But what's cool is, you don't even see it, actually. Well, that came off, but I'm going to keep that. You can actually tuck this and hide that little gap right there. I mean, it's still a little bit noticeable, but just barely, man. So they put that right in there for specific articulation purposes. And it's not bad. It's decisions like this that make me happy. Anyway, he does get really good tilt and all kinds of movement at the neck. And again, that does pop off, not easily. I just kind of forced it, but I did want to show you guys that. So that movement at the neck always helps with articulation. Arms go up and out about that much. Really freaking good T-poses, absolutely no problem. And then he does have a butterfly joint also. He can bring his arms in about that much, which they come in about this much, but they kind of pop out because of the suit. So if you want to do him or pose him hugging Anya or whatever, hugging Yor, he can totally do it. Now he does have a bicep swivel. The elbows are, it's a single joint, but you almost get double jointed range. You can get him to put his hands behind his head for those relaxation poses if you want to do that. So that works just fine. Hands are on a ball peg. It's small, but it's sturdy, as it is supposed to be, and you can move that around like so. Now, moving the arms down to the side. He does have a diaphragm joint in there. Not the most effective, though. He only leans forward with it about that much. Leans back about that much. He can twist and turn very, very well, though. That's good. And I don't see a waist swivel in there. So I think, well, it just pops off. So I'm breaking this guy apart in this video. I'm kind of being rough with this one, but it's lasting very well. I'm not having any issues with it. Let's pop that back on if I can. There it is. Y'all heard that click, I'm sure. But yeah, so he's not going to be able to lean forward too much, unfortunately. So that's one bummer, but I mean, hey, is what it is. He kicks out about that much. The legs are actually on the drop down method. So yeah, once again, he kicks out only about that much. This leg right here feels super, I don't know, man. I feel like something in there is really fragile, and I hope that nothing on this breaks because I'm really enjoying this figure. Now, in terms of doing the splits, he can do them about that much, which isn't the most range, but it's still fine. He does have the thigh swivel, as you guys can see. The, not a fan of the knee, but I guess I did kind of expect that. It works and does what it's supposed to do, so I'm not going to complain. But it is kind of ugly. It's almost like a clamshell type thing. Anyway, foot goes down about that much, up about that much. He actually does get a little bit of ankle rocker, despite the pants falling over the shoe. That's actually really, really dang good, man. I like that. And then he does have toe hinge as well. So articulation wise, I mean, other than the torso area, I think they did pretty good on it. It's fine. This is the only part that's lacking. Now for accessories, you get a ton for what this figure goes for. First off, you get 5 expressions. You get him smiling with his eyes closed. You get this kind of comedic face where he's confused or upset or trying to figure out a situation. You get this yelling, angry face or in combat face. You get a smiling face and you get a serious face. Now that's just face plates. You also get 2 pair of fist hands that are gloves, fist hands that are ungloved, 2 pairs of trigger hands, and 1 that's gloved, 1 that's ungloved, and then relaxed hands also, or kind of reaching hands that are gloved and ungloved. So just the fact alone that they did that really showcases that they were trying to go out. And last but not least, you also got his pistol. So accessory wise, man, I think they did a good job. He doesn't come with much, but I mean, what do you really see him use in this series anyway? This is perfectly fine and I'm happy with it. Now, in case y'all thought I was joking about the height on this guy, look how tall he is standing next to the SH Figuarts CGI Goku. I mean, seriously, look how tall he is standing next to the most powerful anime character to exist, Gojo. Like, this guy is huge. And if you guys remember in my Gojo review, I was talking about how tall Gojo was. This is crazy, man. But then also look at him standing next to my boy Naruto. Like, this just proves it. They are upping the scale. And I am not complaining, but he does seem a little taller than he should be. Now I really can't wait to get Yor in hand to see how she scales with these guys. Next up, here he is standing next to probably the most disappointing figure of 2022, the Figma Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba Akaza. This figure's bad, don't get it. We also have him standing next to the Figma Yuji Itadori, which is a pretty decent figure. Figma kind of went in on this one. And then lastly, since I put the worst figure of the year on there, I had to put one of the best ones on there. Here he is standing next to the Mafex Symbiote or Black Suit Spider-Man. And lastly, for some randoms, here he is standing next to the Bandai America Stranger Things Vecna or Big Vec. I think I'm going to put him in every single one of my reviews just for the hell of it. But seriously, look how tall he stands next to Vecna, who I consider to be a 7-inch scale figure, but now I really don't know. But yeah, here he is standing next to a Hasbro G.I. Joe classified Cobra Trooper something special force. I don't know. I just figured these would go together very well since he does fight characters like this. And last but not least, here he is standing next to a DC Icons Rebirth Batman. We just got the trailer for Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, so I had to bust this figure out. R.I.P. Kevin Conroy. So after having a little bit of time to mess around with this figure, I gotta say, it's pretty good, but it's definitely not Tamashii Nation's best work this year. The main issue with this figure for me is the fact that it's just a little bit loose, even in the left arm. I don't know, something about the left side of my figure feels a tad bit loose. I don't know what it is, but it just, the arm will kind of flop around and the leg will flop around as well. Now, this might not be an issue that you guys have, so I'm not going to just put it out there as an overall problem with the figure. That is hopefully specifically to my copy. Now, another thing I want to touch on is the height. This figure is definitely tall, man. And when I say it's pushing 7-inch scale, if you get it in hand, you guys will see what I mean. Like, it's not going to fit in scale with a lot of your standard SH Figuarts. So that could be a problem. But if they're continuing to scale their figures up, hopefully it's not so bad. But I really just hope they don't start getting crazy with inconsistencies, because sometimes a change in scale can really, I don't know, kind of alter how figures go in scale together, and that'll bother some people, whether it be you posing them together or how you pose them on your shelf. So hopefully that's not something that really becomes an issue, because it'll be horrible if this figure is too tall and then yours is too small. I don't think that's going to be the case, but you guys get what I'm saying. So the height, for me personally, I think it's just a tad bit too tall, but we'll see how everything plays out with future releases. Now, the last issue I have with this guy, this is one that really bugs me. The gun hands. There's nothing wrong with them, but the gun does not just sit in the hand. Well, it doesn't it's not a firm grip. I'll put it like that. It literally just sits in the hand. And if you just kind of move this around a tad bit, now it's not going to do it. But it will fall right out. And that is kind of annoying. Like, as you guys can see, I barely nudged that. Barely nudged that. And it's going into the trigger finger, out of the trigger finger. When it comes to these, man, I like this to be a firm grip. Because what's going to happen is, if you're not paying attention and you're posing him with the gun, it could just fall out of his hand. And it can get annoying. There's nothing more annoying than when accessories just fall right off of the figure. So either they should have made the hand a little smaller, which I don't think they should have, or they should have made the gun a little bit bigger, which is what I think they should have done. Because, I don't know. You guys know what it's like when a figure doesn't have a firm grip on the accessory. I'm not going to harp on that. But overall, it's a fairly decent figure. If I had to rate it, I'd give it like maybe a 6 out of 10. If you're a fan of Spy Family, then by all means go pick it up. But if it's one you're just kind of on the fence about, I don't feel like you necessarily have to have it. It's decent, it's not great. Hopefully your is great. But if you're someone who wants all the figures, then yeah, go get this guy. He's definitely going to look good next to your, and of course, Anya. So anyway, that's my review. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. If so, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. That always helps me out. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And make sure to hit that bell icon to be notified whenever I upload new content. Lastly, follow me on everything you see listed in the description below to keep up with my activity outside of YouTube. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Stay safe wherever you are, and bye.